The Rise and Legacy of the Ottoman Empire, a Tapestry of Conquest and Culture.
But before we start, please support us by pressing like and subscribe buttons. Also turn on the bell notification to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you.
The year was 1565, and the Ottoman Empire was at the height of its power, a vast and mighty realm stretching from the gates of Vienna in the west to the Persian frontier in the east, from the steppes of Crimea to the deserts of Arabia. Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent sat on the throne, his authority unchallenged and his armies undefeated. Yet, even within this golden age, tensions brewed in the far corners of the empire, where the ambitions of local leaders and foreign powers intersected. In the distant Mediterranean, the island of Malta stood as a thorn in the side of Ottoman expansion. It was held by the Knights of St. John, a Christian military order that had been a fierce opponent of the Ottomans for decades. Suleiman, ever determined to expand the empire's reach, resolved to capture Malta and eliminate this threat once and for all. The stage was set for one of the greatest sieges in history, the Siege of Malta. On a warm spring day in May 1565, the horizon darkened with the sails of the Ottoman fleet as it approached Malta. The force was immense, over 40,000 soldiers, including elite janissaries, sappers, and a fleet of war galleys commanded by Dragut, the feared corsair admiral. Their objective was to storm the island and capture its strongholds, led by the fortified city of Burgu and the mighty fort St. Elmo, both guarded by the Knights of St. John under the leadership of their Grand Master, Jean Parasat de Valette. The Ottomans, accustomed to swift and decisive victories, expected to overwhelm the defenders quickly. But Valette and his knights were no ordinary foes. They knew that if Malta fell, the Ottomans would have an unchallenged path into the heart of Europe. Every stone of the fortress walls, every musket fired, was a defiance against this vast empire. The battle begins. The Ottomans launched a relentless assault on Fort St. Elmo, bombarding it day and night with their cannons. The defenders, outnumbered and outgunned, held out for weeks, repelling wave after wave of attacks. Despite suffering heavy losses, they used every trick at their disposal: boiling oil, firebombs, and countermines to keep the enemy at bay. By late June, after a month of brutal fighting, the Ottomans finally breached the walls of Fort St. Elmo. The surviving knights were slaughtered, but the defense had taken its toll on the attackers. The loss of time and men had weakened the Ottoman forces, and Valette used this delay to bolster the defenses of Burgu and the nearby Fort St. Angelo. Suleiman, furious at the losses, ordered a full-scale attack on Burgu. Ottoman soldiers stormed the walls repeatedly, but the defenders, driven by a fierce will to survive, repelled every assault. The fighting was vicious, with hand-to-hand combat on the ramparts and deadly ambushes in the narrow streets. Dragut himself was mortally wounded by a cannonball during the siege, a blow to the morale of the Ottoman army. The turning point. By late summer, the Ottomans were exhausted. Their supply lines were stretched thin, disease had begun to spread through the camp, and European reinforcements for the defenders were rumored to be on their way. The stalemate dragged on until September, when a relief force from Spain finally arrived, attacking the besiegers from the rear. The Ottoman commanders, realizing the futility of continuing the siege, ordered a retreat. The siege of Malta had lasted nearly 4 months, and though the Ottomans had expected an easy victory, they left defeated, their forces decimated. The defenders, though greatly outnumbered, had held their ground, and Malta remained in Christian hands. The siege became a symbol of defiance against Ottoman power, and the loss stung deeply in the heart of the empire. The aftermath. Back in Constantinople, Suleiman, though disappointed, was not deterred from his larger ambitions. The defeat at Malta was a rare setback in a reign filled with military triumphs and vast territorial expansion. The Ottomans would continue to be the dominant power in the Mediterranean for decades, but Malta had shown that the empire was not invincible. For the Knights of St. John, the victory cemented their place in history as the defenders of Christendom. Jean Parasat de Valette, the Grand Master who had led the defense with such tenacity, became a hero, and the capital city of Malta, Valletta, was named in his honor. The Siege of Malta was not just a battle over a small island but a clash of empires and civilizations, a moment when the tides of history could have shifted dramatically had the outcome been different. It was a reminder that even the most powerful empire could face resistance, and sometimes the strength of a few could hold back the advance of the many. In the grander narrative of Ottoman history, the siege was a testament to the empire's far-reaching ambitions and its resilience in the face of adversity. But it also marked a moment when the limits of Ottoman expansion were tested, showing that even a vast empire like the Ottomans could meet its match in unexpected places. The Ottoman Empire, established in the late 13th century, emerged as one of the most powerful empires in history, reaching its zenith in the 16th and 17th centuries. Its success was rooted in a combination of military prowess, strategic diplomacy, and a well-organized administrative system. The Ottomans began as a small principality in northwestern Anatolia and expanded rapidly through conquests, incorporating diverse cultures and regions across Europe, Asia, and Africa. The empire's military was bolstered by innovations such as gunpowder technology, which allowed the Ottomans to dominate on the battlefield. Key victories, such as the capture of Constantinople in 1453, solidified their power and marked the transition from a medieval to a modern state. Justice and prosperity were cornerstones of the Ottoman administration. The empire implemented a legal system based on a blend of Islamic law, Sharia, and customary law, ensuring a degree of fairness and stability. The Sultan was seen as the ultimate source of justice, and his role included protecting the rights of his subjects. The millet system allowed religious and ethnic minorities to maintain their own legal systems and practices, fostering a sense of autonomy and belonging among diverse populations. This approach minimized internal strife and promoted social harmony, contributing to the empire's longevity. The economic prosperity of the Ottoman Empire was another crucial factor in its success. The empire sat at the crossroads of major trade routes connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa, which facilitated commerce and cultural exchange. Ottoman control over these trade routes enabled the collection of taxes and tariffs, enriching the state and its subjects. The empire also invested in infrastructure, building roads, bridges, and caravansaries to support trade. Agricultural production thrived due to advancements in irrigation and land management, further bolstering the economy. Urban centers flourished, becoming hubs of trade, culture, and learning. Several additional factors contributed to the Ottoman Empire's success, including its military organization, diplomacy, and cultural integration. The Janissaries, an elite military corps, were key to the empire's military effectiveness, loyal to the Sultan and trained from a young age. Diplomatically, the Ottomans skillfully navigated relationships with neighboring powers, employing both military and diplomatic strategies to expand their influence without inciting widespread hostility. Culturally, the Ottomans embraced the diverse ethnicities within their empire, fostering an environment of tolerance and artistic expression. This cultural integration not only strengthened internal cohesion but also enriched Ottoman art, architecture, and scholarship, making the empire a beacon of civilization during its height.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like videos like this. Thank you.